Do not wake up, child. The gymnastics I have to perform to be here, to get my daughter to sleep without being held, I should be given some kind of prize. Listen to me, and anyone who makes noise outside, whether it be someone decided to cut a tree. Let me live, release me, okay, from your tree cutting. I need to tell my girls, my guys, how to rebrand yourself. How when you're in a rut. How when you are down and out. How to just get out of the rut and start something new and fresh and exciting. And if I sound like I'm talking through my nose, it's because I am. I just survived, along with my daughter, some kind of rhinovirus, the most aggressive one I've ever had. It's been a day, and I just want to do everything new. I've rebranded my website. I've launched my Become Her course online, and everyone who's in there, I am so excited to have you. For those of you who aren't, I'm sorry if you missed out. Go on my website. Maybe I'll launch it again, maybe not. But I am just wanting to I have had rebrands maybe every 7 years of my life. I need to count and see if I'm on the 7th year cycle again. I don't think I would be. I think I'm on like year 2, but I just love a fresh, new personal rebrand, because sometimes you get in a rut of being a person who accepts abuse, a person who doesn't look after your body, a person who eats in a certain way. I'm going to talk about all that. But I think when you sit down with yourself and you decide, okay, girl, I need a rebrand. I'm tired of being the way I am. I want to do something new. I want to just shake up my life. I think the first thing you need to do is understand that you are not going to feel like a different person unless you have an idea of who you are becoming. This needs to be an alter ego. This needs to be an alter ego persona that you are becoming. For me, it could be anyone from a celebrity to a writer. Sometimes you'll read a book and you'll get so deeply invested in that character of that book that you almost feel like you are that character. You are so in that book. You are so invested in the character of that book. You feel like you are that character. You know, when you put that book down and you're like, oh, I am not, I'm not living in that century or in that era, and you just feel like something's missing in your life because you walked away from that book. Yeah, you need to become so acquainted with that alter ego, like write it down, put into your diary exactly who it is you want to be, almost get obsessed with this idea of who you want to be. I know a lot of you struggle with anxious attachment and even things that I fall into sometimes. I have worked tooth and nail and to the bone to become securely attached, and I still go through it. Like sometimes I'll go through phases, and I'm going to be very vulnerable and honest with you, when women ask me questions and it's something I've never thought about. I don't know, like divorce in your 50s or something that, like, as in I've thought about but I've never encountered in my life because I'm not at that age. I have not had that predicament or something, and I don't know, I will ask my husband, or doesn't matter who, or I will be talking to my mother, let's say, and I'll ask her something that she will reply in a way that will trigger my anxious attachment, or my husband will. Like, let's give this never actually happened, but let's just imagine something close to this. Like I'll ask him, like, oh, do you think you should get divorced in your 50s if somebody did this? And he'll be like, yeah, sure you should. And I'll feel, oh my God, he could divorce me and abandon me. This again hasn't happened, but I'm just summing up a series of conversation that we might have had. I then feel my anxious attachment get really triggered. It really comes up and I'm like, oh my God, what does that mean? I have to ask him questions. I have to make sure. It's like you go into this cycle of extreme self-soothing. You just want to make it be okay and make it go away. And you want to make that person tell you something that will make you feel better. For you, it could be you're out with your partner, he looked at someone else. Or you ask him his opinion on, I don't know, who, Andrew Tate, and he's like, yeah, I actually quite like him, and you're like, oh my God, he's a misogynist, it's too much for me, I can't do this. You start really labeling people's opinions and things to mean a lot more than they should to you. And having an alter ego can allow you to really step out of putting so much value on people's opinions and random things that they say, which is something that my mind gets attached to. Or like if my friend doesn't invite me somewhere or something, I can get triggered, or anything, any myriad of things. You're anxiously attached. You know exactly what I mean. Or most likely you are. A lot of you write to me, oh, what is it? He watches pornography. Should I ask him why he watches it? Well, the reality is, baby girl, that if he watches it and he enjoys it, you just need to accept a person for who they are. By accept, I don't mean be with him if that's not something that you want to have in your life. By accept, I mean understand that is him. There's nothing he's going to say that's going to soothe your soul and make you feel better about it. He's not going to tell you, oh yes, the girls there are more attractive than you or not more attractive than you. You're not going to push him for an answer, okay? So instead, you need to work on yourself and your alter ego. When I think of my alter ego, I'm thinking Brigitte Bardot. I'm thinking South of France, Brigitte Bardot. I'm thinking Angelina Jolie, but not wild Angelina Jolie, like Mr. and Mrs. Smith Angelina Jolie, okay? I anchor my thoughts and my mind to these epic women. I'm just giving you examples off the top of my dome, okay? I've got other examples in my bag that I like to emulate, okay? And I'm thinking never, ever, ever would that woman be caught dead or alive asking a man what he thinks about Jessica, who's sitting at the next table when they're out for brunch. Like, who cares about Jessica? Who cares about her? Who cares about Jessica and her whole life and existence? Because you are so the main character. You are so not in need of his approval that you just would never ask that question. Think about the character that would ask that question. She's that type of needy, pick-me girl who is really hard to deal with. And you'd even push away amazing people being that type of personality. Number 2, you need to focus on your strengths and forget about your weaknesses. A lot of people, when they're trying to rebrand themselves, they focus so much on, like, let's say you've really lagged on fitness. Oh, that's it. I'm going to be fitness 500. I don't know what that is, fitness 500, but that's going to be me. I'm going to be Gymshark. I'm going to be this one, that one, the other one. You need to focus on what your natural strengths are to feel good about yourself. If you're always focusing on what you cannot do and trying to make that better, I'll give you a school example. If you're good at math, bad at English, focus more on math, as opposed to focusing on English and forgetting math. You want to be the best damn mathematician. You want to be so good at something that the world recognizes you and doubles down on your goodness. So when you're trying to rebrand yourself, really look up some exercises online and understand which one you want to do to find out what your strengths are. There's many, many quizzes like me. I'm very good at taking big ideas and synthesizing them down to understandable things. I'm also good at understanding human emotion. I'm good at not judging a person's experience despite having not been through that. These seem like obsolete and random traits to be good at, okay? These seem like, so what, you're good at that? Big deal, big whoop. These are soft skills, you know? But turns out they're not. It's what I built my business on. And I'll go more into soft skills and what you can build your business on later. Number 3, think about the things that have let you down in your personality thus far. Those things we don't want to carry forward into your rebrand, into your new life. Things that have not worked out so well for me is those anxiously positioned thoughts, ideas, and questions that I will ask people. It is my need to put others first, be perfect, and all those things. They don't serve me. If I replay every single time that that's happened, it has not been good for me. You need to find out which actions have deliberately not been good for you and what has been good for you and move forward with that. You need to, number 4, have anchors that focus you into your future self. For example, for me, when my outfits are simple but put together, as in like I'm just wearing a black sweatshirt and my hair is straight and clean. If you're not watching this, I'm telling you, and my skin is kind of looked after, I feel good about myself, and that is an anchor of what I feel into myself. For you, it could be something more glamorous. It could be bracelets, lockets. For me, it's bracelets too. If you notice, I wear bracelets in all my other content. I'm not going to pull my sleeves back to show you, but it's little anchors, like what makes you feel like your most amazing self. You need to have them. It could be a mug of coffee. It could be like, what is your character trait that you're going to carry forward and carry through into all of your existence? You know what I mean? Number 5, and this is important, and it's a hard thing to admit, but motivation. You don't always have to have motivation to be successful. I only gained success in my work after I had my child. Why? Not because it's some kind of synergy happened, but because my child triggered in me the thing that makes me succeed, and that is others. I am others focused. I cannot undo it. It's my upbringing. I had to be a golden child or a good girl a lot, raised in Eastern Europe, and I had to like perform in order to be loved, or so I thought, okay? So having that background, I need to understand that to make myself successful and to make my rebranding and my success work in life, I need to feel like I'm doing something for others. I am not self-motivated enough to get up and be like, yes, I'm going to achieve the best life. For me, some kind of engine turned on in my head, up my bum, in my soul, whatever it is. When I had my son, I was like, oh, I've got to do this for my son. And then I always said, I had a daughter next, and I always didn't know which gender my child would be next. And I said, if I have a daughter, God help me, because I now feel like I've got to be a role model. Not that I don't have to be a role model for my son, but trust and believe, most of my comments are, what would you tell your daughter, or how would you tell your daughter to do this? Because it means a lot, you know what I mean? For my son, I feel like I've got to love him, and I've got to love her too. But for her, I got to walk the walk, and talk the talk. Like, what kind of woman do I want her to be? So when I found out her gender, I was like, Lord Christ, here we go. You're asking a lot from me. You're asking me to show up in a way that I need to show this kid, like, what womanhood is, or what my traits of womanhood are. If you find out, if you're others motivated, self-motivated, community motivated, your grandma motivated, animals motivated, you can achieve so much more in your life if you know what triggers you. When I think I need to, right now, okay, I took my son to preschool. I put my daughter down for the nap. I'm doing this. I'm sitting down because one day I want to show her that I did not exactly show her, hello, Valentina, look at this podcast I made. But I want her to be proud of me. I want to, let's be honest, I want to financially be able to look after her, even though her father can, and look after us. I want to do more. I want to take her to Fiji or Bali. I want to do all these things, right? So instead of sitting and scrolling on my phone, which I used to do, I used to be in my 20s, have no kids, and be like, I don't have any time. How can I make one piece of YouTube content? Help me. And now I'm like, I can make 700 pieces of YouTube content somehow in the 20-minute nap that she does. And trust and believe, she wakes up every 45 minutes at night at the moment. So it's not like I'm all slept and cozy, okay? Because I'm others motivated, I know what trigger I can use in order to make myself go. Next, I've been into this, and this is really, really interesting. When you're on your rebranding journey, it can be really confusing as to what you want to do. And if you look at astrology, you will find your rising sign. You've got your sun sign, you've got your moon sign, and then you've got your rising sign. And your rising sign, if you look at any chart, and if you don't believe in astrology, that's fine, but this is just a tool that I use and I think is helpful. Your rising sign is how you appear in the world to other people and how you were meant to appear in this world. So despite my sun sign and my moon sign, in tropical, my sun sign is Virgo and my moon sign is Pisces. In sidereal, my sun sign is Leo and my moon sign is Aquarius. So the tilt is a little bit off on those two different astrology points. But my rising sign is the same in both, and that is Cancer. Can you see by my rounded cheeks and deep and soulful eyes? My twiggy arms, but more robust body? As they say, it's really funny, if you look at it, people's rising sign is what you look like and what you're meant to emulate in this world, okay? Let's move on to branding. If you don't know how to brand yourself, look at your rising sign and how they appear in the world and go with that. So for me, that's Cancer. What is Cancer? Emotion, human-based, human-driven, likes to talk about emotions. Hey ho, here's my career. They're about the home and their children. I'm always filming in my home. I'm always talking from my home. I'm always in my natural habitat. Okay. And they are very much about, creating a version of themselves, like be having boundaries. And that is what we talk about, like creating our own attachments to be more secure, security, creating a foundation. Cancers also like to create businesses and have money and security. And that is literally what my branding is. And down to the minutia, if you find out your rising sign is Leo, you can appear a little bit bigger in the world. If you find out your rising sign is Scorpio, girl, do the whole theme of your Instagram or your channel as black and red and like mysterious and sexy. The second thing you need to do if you're a woman watching this is take your rising sign, mine is Cancer, and then take your Venus, and that is Leo for me. My Venus sign is Leo, and since you are a female, that is how you appear with your sensuality and your femininity in the world. So I combine Cancer, sensitive mother energy. A lot of you call me mom or big sister, okay? With Leo, and that is that spicy, that kind of give you the real, yes, queen, appear with my big hair, like when I'm not looking after children, you know what I mean? It means your Venus sign means how you should appear in romantic relationships. And since you're a woman, that is your Venus kind of energy, okay? So for me, that would be the ideal branding for you. What are you, Aquarius, Scorpio? Aquarius meaning, people focused and driven, and Scorpio mysterious. I don't know, find out. That's a really useful thing to, pivot your branding on. Look up aesthetics of Cancer. I just need to add some Cancer glitter and all that stuff. I need more glitter and glamour in my life for the Cancer and the Leo. I am coming off the back end, if you can tell by my voice, of a rhinovirus and a sinus infection, and my baby's also being sick, okay? This thing really took me out. And I am dehydrated. I'm like a prune, like a prawn, like a dehydrated situation, okay? Element, LMNT, spelled element, pronounced, is a brand of hydration and electrolytes. They are the brand, the 101, the go-to, because they are also not containing a lot of the bad kind of like sugars and all these things, but they are high in electrolytes and high in supporting you with their low-carb formula, as in like if you're on keto like me, or you're on one of those diets and high protein diets, it's not going to knock you off your progression. So these are incredible sachets that you put in your water. They taste amazing. I love the watermelon one because it also allows me to drink something that is really thirst quenching and incredible. They improve your health and blood pressure. They support you. They give you longer, better performance. They improve your cognitive function. They maintain a steady energy. This is what electrolytes do. And these drinks are full of them. So get your free Element sample pack with any purchase of drinkelement.com/beingher. Also try the new Element Sparkling, a bold 16-ounce can of sparkling electrolyte water. That's spelled drinklmnt.com/beingher. Okay, so remember back in the day when we used to go on YouTube and see YouTubers try on makeup and different skincare, and this skincare breaks you out and this one doesn't, and the other one does this and the other one does that? I'm not in that anymore. I'm in my 30s. I've got to take care of my skin, and I am leaning on people like OneSkin who have scientifically proven topical supplement skincare free from over 1,500 chemicals that can make your skin red, irritated, itchy. I'm not experimenting on myself anymore. If you have sensitive skin, you are going to love them. They have this skin safe seal of approval, and they make incredible skincare that you can really trust. It's founded by an all-women team of scientists. Their products are backed by extensive lab and clinical data to validate their efficiency and safety on all skin types. So we're not playing around. This is serious. I really encourage you to look into them and everything that they have discovered. For example, by straining skin samples in their lab, they have seen that the skin's genetic data before and after exposure to the OS1 peptide, which is in their skincare, has found to reverse skin's biological age, which is incredible. They actually have the data to prove this. They are very interesting. They are science-driven, and they have stats like wrinkles were diminished in 87% of users, okay? OneSkin is the world's first skin longevity company. By focusing on the cellular aspects of aging, OneSkin keeps your skin looking and acting younger for longer. Get started today with 15% off by using code BEINGHER at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code BEINGHER. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support my show and tell them that we sent you. I have been driven crazy by toys that need batteries, useless battery toys. I cannot even tell you how much they piss me off. In comes KiwiCo. I used it for my son 4 years ago. I'm using it for my daughter now. KiwiCo delivers a seriously fun learning for kids of all ages through hands-on projects and activities. The older they get, the more projects they get. These are beautifully crafted wooden toys, especially for my daughter at her 7 months of age. They're interactive. You can play with your children. There is technology, science, engineering, arts, all designed for the development of your child at their current age.
It is perfect for brain development. It's made with care. It's got none of the BPAs and all those leads and all these toxic things that are in children's toys.
I really would not go past this one. I've used it before this podcast. I'm using it now. They'll explore new worlds, rediscover familiar ones without leaving the home. You know, if you're a parent, how hard it is to get your child occupied, and KiwiCo really solves that problem. Redefine learning with play. Explore projects that build confidence and problem-solving skills with KiwiCo. Get 50% off your first month on any crate line at kiwico.com with promo code BeingHer. That's 50% off your first month at kiwico.com, promo code BeingHer. Enjoy. Number 7, create 3 categories that you're going to focus on with your rebrand. Mine for about a year have been body, babies, business, or brand. Okay, because I like alliteration. I like it to sound good. I like it to flow. So babies for me, this is my babies era. I had my baby at 31. I've had this one 3 years later. So it's like, this is my babies era. Nothing comes more importantly and forwardly than my babies. Like, that's just it. Number 2, business. For some reason, having them has made me flow into my business. My house looks like teenagers live here, okay? But that's because I'm very business, babies, and body. Body, why? Because I realized I need to maintain my stamina, health, that without your health and stamina and body, you have nothing in the world. Like, ask a person who is not well what they want. The only thing they want is health. And those 3 things I focus on. Like my diet, I extremely focus on, and I fall off sometimes. I'm human, but that is what I focus on. 8, build 1 habit a week. Small habit. Build and stack habits. Don't be like, and then I'm going to drink water, and then I'm going to do Pilates, and then I'm going to yoga, and then I'm going to walk, and then I'm going to walk my dog, and then I'm going to go be charitable. No, you're going to fall off all of them. Build a habit in until it's built into your routine. You're not going to be able to sustain it. I don't know what my problem is with drinking water. I don't know what is your damage, Margarita? Like, drink water. Like, I try and implement that all the time, but you need to habit stack. You need to stack week 1, 2, 3, 4. This week, vitamins. Next week, water. And then, they will compound. Number 9, decide on your aesthetic while you're rebranding, just to make it smoother, simpler, and easier. From having kids and COVID and having another one and living in a very casual country, I forgot what style is. Like, I don't know. I don't understand. But what I am focused on is having a healthy body and dressing it and looking sexy. I enjoy looking sexy, and I enjoy looking bombastic, fantastic, and in your face. It's that Leo Venus, okay? And so for me, I've decided just clean lines, effective, white shirt, maybe this kind of black shirt, turtleneck, something simple. And what I'm going to lead with for now in my life is not deciding what I'm going to wear every day, because look, honey, look, if you're watching this, there's saliva on my shoulder. I just changed the shirt 30 minutes ago, okay? Ooh, they're going to dribble on me, they are 7 months old, and she is 7 months old, and the older one, like, his hands are always, I don't know, something's always going on with stickiness and chocolate, whatever. It's just not my era to be, like, which shirt shall I wear? Like, who cares? Yeah. Just, I want glamorous hair. Glamorous to me means long, healthy, and in my case, blonde, because that gives me like my alter ego vibes, like Scandi vibes, right? I want good skin. I bought a red light mask. Those are my things. Going to the dentist, gonna get my teeth whitened. If I'm feeling very spicy, I might stick on some eyelashes. Those things. But the clothes, simple. Keep it simple, stupid. KISS, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. 10. Don't try and mask your lack of health is my note here. And what I mean by that is sometimes people try and mask their lack of health with makeup, outfits, whatever it is. If you are not at your optimum best treatment for your body, and I've done this, I've eaten junk, I will say so myself, and I've been in places where my skin looks bad, my body is heavier than it should be, and I mean that heavier, than it should be. Like, you feel your knees crack-a-lacking underneath the pressure of your body. And I'm like, what shall I wear? Like, what will flatter my figure? Nothing. Because you're not feeling healthy. You're not feeling confident. Some people feel healthy and confident at any weight with any type of thing going on. Me, not so much. I've got too many sports injuries that if I am 10 kilos over, which I was, I feel it. I feel it, you know? So don't try and mask that. Don't be like, oh, what can I do? Which foundation, which concealer? Just forget it. Just go into hibernation mode, of rebranding mode, and get those things right, because you have a natural beauty. You do. Yes, you have a natural beauty that you cannot emulate with any foundation, concealer, no, nothing that they're trying to sell you. There's nothing you can buy. Marketing. There's nothing you can buy that will be more beautiful than your health. 11, you owe it to yourself to be the best looking version of you, says my note. And that is the tail end of, you were born as you. This is the one time you'll have this face. This is one time you'll have this experience. Everybody can be the best looking version of themselves. Is it called looks maxing on TikTok? I don't know what it's called, but everybody can be the best looking version of themselves. Isn't that exciting? Don't you want to be the best looking version of yourself? People can be deeply average, and then when they put that time, effort, and energy into their health, into optimizing who they are, goddamn. 12, stop asking people what they think of you. This is a two-pronged approach. Number one, asking people constantly what they think of you dilutes your own self-intuition and your own drive, like your own idea of who or what you should be and what is going on. It completely dilutes it. Constantly asking different people, and you've got to really understand something, and this is a hard lesson to learn. Everyone has an agenda. If you're asking someone what they should do, they might not even know they have this agenda. If it's your best friend, they're going to drive you towards maybe seeing them more. If it's your husband and he's a little bit insecure, maybe, I don't know, he's going to drive you towards not pushing yourself and doing that thing. If it's your parent and they mean well, they're going to be driving you towards security and not pushing yourself again. Maybe your husband wants you to earn more, so he'll push you towards that, when really your instinct is to stay home with your children. It doesn't matter. Stop asking people for what you should be doing. And part of the rebrand is 3 months, 1 month, whatever you can bear of your own ideas and your own thoughts and your own meditation and your own process. Number 13, stop seeing people as the ones who can validate you and start seeing yourself as the one to validate them and the judge of them. You are Simon Cowell. They are the contestant. I say so in my book. If you haven't read it, why have you not read it? I don't understand. Get it on Audible, because it's just talking, and it's 10 hours of 10 hours of talking. Do you know recording that was listen to me, it was crazy. It's one of the things is, you are the judge of other people. Stop positioning, why doesn't he like me? Why do you like him though? Why do you like someone who doesn't like you? Why are you interested in pursuing someone who does not like you? This is very interesting. Why? It's bizarre. It's really bizarre. It says more. I was listening to something and I came across a Matthew Hussey podcast maybe, and a woman was saying, this guy's got no time for me. He sends me a calendar. He says, look, see, Teresa, I've got no time for you here on my calendar whatsoever. So I don't know when I'm going to fit you in. And she's like, am I asking for too much? I don't know. He might actually be busy. The question isn't, are you asking for too much? It's like, why do you want to be with a person who can't fit you in? Like, you were not born with them. Like, you're not a conjoined twin. This is not your child. This is not any kind of situation like that, Teresa. I don't understand. Well, I do understand, because I understand that it hurts to know that you deserve more. It hurts to know you deserve more. What is that sentence? But it does hurt to know you deserve more, because then you need to make cutthroat decisions. You need to be like, oh, that's not good for me. Oh, that's not good for me. Wouldn't it be good if we could make decisions for our loved ones as opposed to make them for ourselves? Because, you know, he's got no time for me. He showed me his calendar. Okay, so what's the next process, John? What's the process? We're not going to see each other? Cool. Okay. Nice. Number 14, gratitude. A story. I was talking to my mum on the phone, and I said, my daughter's waking up every 45 minutes, you know, at night. I'm so tired. She goes, you know what? I need my sleep so much that if I had that experience, I'll be grumpy all day. I'd be so furious. And I'm like, yeah, but who are you being grumpy for? Like, who's going to change that? She'd be like, I'd be like snapping at the kids. That's just me. I need my sleep. And I'm like, yeah, I need my sleep too, girl. I need my sleep too. And she was like, no, but I'd be snappy. And I realized in that moment, I've trained myself so much to see the gratitude in everyday moments that I can get through most things. I mean, sleep deprivation isn't like the worst thing in the world. People are going through much worse, but it's like severe sleep deprivation, and I've been very sick. But when I see her little hands and the fact that she wants me and she's looking at me with her little eyes, and we wake up in the morning, butt crack of dawn, the sun hasn't come up, and I'm looking at her and I'm like, I get the human experience of mother. Like, I get the human experience of that person looking at me and the love that they look at me with. Oh my God. You cannot emulate it. You cannot replicate it. And yeah, we're not sleeping right now, but I'm so grateful to have experienced this, because the gods are jealous of our human experience, because to feel, to be tired, to see the love and to know it's not lasting, and to know that I won't be there one day, and hopefully if things turn out right, she will be and my son will be, is just magic, So in your rebranding, gratitude, number one. Because I'm going to tell you a secret. The more grateful you are, if you're scared to be grateful for your shitty car because you want a better car and that is what you're wishing, you're blocking the abundance that could come in from having the amazing car. So you have the shitty car. You say your car is shitty, you want the amazing car, but you're not vibrating on the level of loving a car. So if you're vibrating on the level of loving a car, which is your shitty car, then you're going to get a good car. Do you understand? But if you're vibrating on the level of hating a car, then how are you going to get the good car? Because you're vibrating on the level of hating a car. I hope you got that. Mike, yep, got it. Catch it. 15. Understand that people do not care about you as much as you think. Only you are responsible for you. In this rebrand, I told you to emulate a character, be an alter ego, stop caring so much about other people. And you're like, oh my God, but Patricia's going to judge me. Patricia doesn't care about you. Patricia does not care. Do you think about other people as much as you think they think about you? When you come in the gym and you're like, oh my God, I don't know how to use the machine. Fairly, like, it's scary because gym people are scary, okay? But like, you don't know, but they're going to forget you. They're going to forget you. You matter so little to them. They are going to forget you like a hotcake in summer. I don't even know what that means, but they will forget you. Last but not least, understand your pain might be your power. Good point. Proving something to my father has been my power. Not having people around to necessarily help me raise my kids has been my power for my connection with them. In the past, being cheated on has become my power. My dad not recognizing me or wanting to know me has made me be that girl who's like, Daddy, watch me. I'm going to prove to you that I could do a lot more than you ever thought I could. And in retrospect, I proved nothing and it doesn't matter. But it made me powerful because it made me push myself to do more than I could. Every single pain that you've had will truly make you more powerful and will make you a superhero and a badass. I'll see you in the next one. I don't have the time to filter out clothes that are for me and are not for me, what's in and what's not, what's hot, what's not, trending items, okay? No, I don't have time for that. So I'm looking at a couple of different brands, and Jenny Kane Apparel is one of the ones that I am looking at for your guys' summer, my winter. I've looked at their sweaters, which I have loved. The cotton cocoon cardigan and the Chloe crew neck have been incredible. They're also super luxurious and lightweight, their sweaters especially, and they're perfect from transitioning from spring to summer. In Australia, it's winter. By winter, I mean it's like 10 degrees, okay? It's not like deep winter, but the Flynn cashmere sweater is beautiful and versatile. I want to have timeless pieces. I want them to be just in my wardrobe. I don't want to think about whether I'm trendy or not. I just want to look classic and put together. For context, I have a 7-month-old. I have a 4-year-old. I have a business. I don't have time for this, honey, okay? They have shoes too, if you're interested in that. And they have a stunning collection of home essentials and timeless furniture pieces. It's a really good store. And I like to just basically have a look that I am wearing and I don't have to think about it. And you can find that on their website. Find your new uniform at jennykane.com. Our listeners get 15% off your first order when you use code BeingHer15 at checkout. That's 15% off your first order, JENNIKAYNE.com, promo code BeingHer15. Let getting dressed be one less thing to worry about. Embracing your summer aesthetic or your winter aesthetic like me with Jenny Kane. Okay, so essential nutrients keep our cells healthy, which keeps us healthy, yeah? If you want to get really into it, studies have shown that C15 works by strengthening the cells themselves, improving the mitochondrial function and protecting us against free radicals, which means long-term health for your metabolism, liver, and health functions in all areas. So if any of us are deficient in C15, this results in weaker cells. Weaker cells results in feeling sluggish, not sleeping very well. If this sounds familiar, then Fatty 15 is where I'm going to point you to. It's a science-backed, award-winning, vegan-friendly supplement. It is pure C15. It is a compound which is said to be 3 times more beneficial than omega-3, and it works on the same kind of level. It is a patented, pure, oxidant-resistant C15 powder in pill form, and I had the founder on my podcast. I've been taking them for a few months now, and C15 is the only ingredient in this pill, so I think that is a really, really brilliant idea. If you want to help your sleep, your recovery, and all those things, Fatty 15 is on a mission to replenish your C15 levels and restore your health long term. You can get an additional 15% off their 90-day subscription starter kit by going to fatty15.com/beingher and using code BeingHer at checkout. The most confusing thing for me, I think, was finding postnatals, prenatals, the type of vitamins I could take during my pregnancy and also after because of breastfeeding. It's really confusing time. And I think before you've done it, you don't understand the type of almost like brain consuming time that goes into deciding what you can and cannot take, because, you know, this is your pregnancy. It's not a joke. You want to do it well, and you want to make sure everything is okay in terms of what you take and what you can't take. Some vitamins are okay, some aren't. It's hard to find the research, and that is where Needed comes in. It's an incredible pregnancy and postpartum brand of supplements and vitamins, and they are there for that exact reason. Pregnancy and postpartum are some of the most nutritionally demanding times in a woman's life. For me, that is the time I felt most depleted. 95% of women in their perinatal stages have nutrition deficiencies, which isn't right. And there are so many women, and women's supplements out there, but it's hard to know which one is best because they're not targeted for that exact time of postpartum and pregnancy. Needed is a great brand for this. It has products that are formulated by experts in women's health and backed by clinical insights with their collective of over 4,000 practitioners, which is really reassuring and an incredible concept. I really encourage you to check them out. Head over to thisisneeded.com and use code BeingHer for 20% off your first order. That is THISISNEED.com and use code BeingHer for 20% off your first order. I am doing the postnatal vitamins and the omega, and I'm loving them.